Hello. Hello, everyone. Happy Monday. Happy Monday afternoon. For my Black History, I will be honoring Malcolm X. Hey, Joshua, you got to send me that cash app again with the picture. Send it to 815-995-9866. I'm getting ready to honor Malcolm X.
Malcolm X fought to attain civil
Malcolm X was an American revolutionary.
An electrifying spokesman for the Nation of Islam, Malcolm X fought to attain civil rights through militant self-defense.
This will be an organization that will give the black man in this country the right to defend himself by any means necessary.
Born Malcolm Little on May 19, 1925, in Omaha, Nebraska, Malcolm grew up in East Lansing, Michigan, where he suffered the death of his father in 1931. Several years later, Malcolm's mother was placed in a mental institution, and he lived in foster homes until he dropped out of school at 15.
Malcolm X was a brilliant young man, but he told a teacher he wanted to be a lawyer, and that teacher suggested instead that he be a carpenter. That begins Malcolm X's sort of slow slide out of school.
After moving to Boston, Malcolm fell into a life of drugs and crime, and at 20 years old, he was sentenced to 10 years in jail for larceny. While imprisoned, Malcolm joined the Nation of Islam, and upon his release in 1952, he changed his name to Malcolm X.
Most people who are descendant from formerly enslaved Africans carry the last name of their former masters or those families, and Malcolm X basically let go of that name, and he chose X to symbolize his unknown African name.
From 1952 to 1960, Malcolm X expanded the Nation of Islam from roughly 400 to 40,000 members. But as an opposing voice to integration, Malcolm X incited fear and controversy.
Malcolm X was the counterpoint to Dr. King and the Civil Rights Movement. They were talking about nonviolence and peace and love and cooperation. Malcolm never participated in violence, but he was definitely about, we have to fight back. He spoke for so many African Americans who were literally terrified of saying the things that he was saying.
Anyone who stands in the way of your and my freedom, our human dignity, is a cold-blooded, blue-eyed enemy.
What Malcolm X did that drew so many people to him was he had an energy that was urgent and young. And I think he triggered a certain kind of action in people, a certain kind of self-esteem that I'm worthy of challenging the status quo.
In 1963, tensions erupted between Malcolm X and the Nation of Islam due to his growing popularity and his objection to the extramarital affairs of Elijah Muhammad, the Nation of Islam leader. By 1964, Malcolm X left the Nation of Islam and converted to Sunni Muslim.
Malcolm X had this life-changing event when he went to Mecca. He went outside of America and connected to the global image of Islam. He came back differently and felt that everyone was his brother.
On February 21st, 1965, while preparing for a speech in a Manhattan ballroom, Malcolm X was rushed by 3 gunmen from the Nation of Islam and was killed by 21 shots to his body. His posthumous autobiography, published in 1965, was named by Time magazine as one of the 10 required nonfiction books of all time, and became a film in 1992 starring Denzel Washington.
One of the first people to worry about atomic bombs as a real reality was a Hungarian scientist named Leo Szilard.
Okay, that's a brief history. Now we're going to talk about what has happened in recent years with Malcolm X, with his family, suing the government. Okay, hold on, y'all. Everybody, hold on. We are honoring Malcolm X. And I am just thankful that the truth is coming out about all of these people, what the government did, covering up their deaths, making people think that it was Elijah Muhammad that had something to do with it, and it was the government. So, Malcolm X family is trying. We finally got the answers. We know that the government had Malcolm X unalive. Oh, God.
The family is seeking $100 million in damages. 3 men were convicted over his death, but 2 were exonerated by enforcement agencies for complicity. Relatives of the Black civil rights leader Malcolm X are suing U.S. law enforcement agencies for complicity in his assassination 6 decades ago. They claim the CIA, the FBI, and the New York Police Department were aware of a plot to assassinate him, but did nothing to stop it. The family is seeking $100 million in damages. 3 men were convicted over his death, but 2 were exonerated more than 50 years later when the case was re-examined. Raymond Hamlin is a lawyer acting for the family.
So you ask yourself this last question: why would the government prosecute 2 individuals knowing those individuals had no involvement in the assassination? What was it that our government, that the city was trying to protect?
Our correspondent Rowan Bridge is following developments from Washington. He gave me this update.
Malcolm X was a charismatic but controversial figure within the civil rights movement of the 1960s in the United States. He was the chief spokesman for the Nation of Islam to start off with, a sort of black nationalist movement. And he became famous for saying that black people should use whatever means necessary to claim back their civil rights, including violence. But he split from the Nation of Islam. He went on a pilgrimage to Mecca and came back with a very different sort of viewpoint. He moderated his earlier views. And that had created a lot of tension with the Nation of Islam. And he received death threats to his life. And he feared for his own safety when he returned to the United States. And then he was giving a speech at a ballroom in New York when he was assassinated. He was shot dead in front of several hundred people. And the allegation now is that there was complicity by the authorities in Malcolm X's death. This all comes off the back of a letter which was allegedly written by a New York police officer before he died in 2020, where he said he had infiltrated Malcolm X's organization and got his security team to commit offenses so that they could be arrested by the New York police before Malcolm X gave that speech. And then the allegation is also that there were undercover officers in the ballroom who did nothing to protect Malcolm X and allowed that shooting to go ahead. And there has always been controversy over whether the authorities were complicit in his death or not. And I think this court case, really, one of the things they're hoping to do is prize out that information to get a full accounting of what happened, and also to get reparations for the family of Malcolm X.
Yeah, so take us through the timeline now of what happens next.
Well, I mean, American court cases can take some time. I mean, this is a civil suit that they are bringing against the FBI, the CIA, and the New York Police Department. So that case will now have to make its way through the courts. At the moment, though, the authorities involved are all making no comment on the case. So at the moment, we have the sort of headline that the case has been filed, this unlawful death suit has been filed, and now we'll wait for that to sort of grind its way through the American legal system, really.
Rowan Bridge there.
Thick mucus making it impossible to breathe? Did you know that mucus buildup and breathing difficulties are your body's...
So there we have it, everybody. You know, the government did have Malcolm X assassinated. This is not alleged. These are reports that came out that they were responsible for his death, and the family is suing. So for Black History Month, I am honoring Malcolm X. And so, hold on. Malcolm X was very smart and intelligent. I think if Malcolm X, hey, Love and Live show, I think if Malcolm X would not have been unalive, I think that we would be further than what we was, because we would have been building our own stuff. We would have been supporting our own businesses. We wouldn't have been caring about what other people was doing. And so, and I think we would have loved our people more if, like I said, if Malcolm X had not been unalived. That's just my personal opinion. You know. Hold on, everybody.
Every time they look over their shoulder, we want them to see us. We want to make them pass the strongest civil rights bill they've ever passed, because we know even after they pass it, they can't enforce it. In order to do this, we're starting a voters registration drive. We have to get everybody in Harlem registered, not as Democrats or Republicans, but registered as independents. If you don't have the sense of responsibility to get registered, we'll move you out of town.
Malcolm called for an aggressive plan, not only to gain political power, but to move Black people towards total control of their community.
It's going to be the ballot or the bullet.
Other ethnic groups, other ethnic and racial groups come into our community and own the stores. They run the schools. They run the supermarkets. They own the movie theaters. They own the almost anything in the community that is generating income is owned by outsiders.
My personal economic philosophy is also Black nationalism, which means that the Black man should have a hand in controlling the economy of the so-called Negro community. He should be developing the type of knowledge that will enable him to own and operate the businesses and thereby be able to create employment for his own people, for his own kind. And the social philosophy also is Black nationalism, which means that instead of the Black man trying to force himself into the society of the white man, we should be trying to eliminate from our own society the ills and the defects and make ourselves likable and sociable among our own kind.
Malcolm's whole agenda was different. He was about total independence. He was about self-determination, self-reliance, self-defense when necessary. And of course, he was still fighting for the same thing that the others were, for justice. And so I felt Malcolm is a person I want to follow.
And here we are going into this 4.
One of the first things that the independent African nations did was to form an organization called the Organization of African Unity. The purpose of our organization of Afro-American Unity, which has the same aim and objective, to fight whoever gets in our way. To bring about the complete independence of people of African descent here in the Western Hemisphere, and first here in the United States, and bring about the freedom of these people by any means necessary. That's our motto. The purpose of our organization is to start right here in Harlem, which has the largest concentration of people of African descent that exists anywhere on this earth. There are more Africans here in Harlem than exist in any city on the African continent, because that's what you and I are, Africans. The Charter of the United Nations, the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, the Constitution of the United States, and the Bill of Rights are the principles in which we believe, and that these documents, if put into practice, represent the essence of mankind's hopes and good intentions, desirous that all Afro-American people and organizations should henceforth unite so that the welfare and well-being of our people will be assured. We are resolved to reinforce the common bond of purpose between our people by submerging all of our differences and establishing non-sectarian constructive programs for human rights. We hereby present this charter. Number one, the establishment. The Organization of Afro-American Unity shall include all people of African descent in the Western Hemisphere. In essence, what it is saying, instead of you and me running around here seeking allies in our struggle for freedom, in the Irish neighborhood or the Jewish neighborhood or the Italian neighborhood, we need to seek some allies among people who look something like we do. And once we get there, it's time for you and me to looking away from the wolf, right into the arms of the fox, looking for some kind of help.
Malcolm X, speaking in 1964. He was born 98 years ago today, on May 19th, 1925. Go to democracynow.org to see the full event with Dr. Angela.
Hey, Amber, you said the slaves who escaped and went west became successful. Yeah, like I said, I truly believe in my heart. You know, Malcolm X, he knew that Muslims came in all forms, you know, white, blacks. He did learn that when he made his trip to Mecca. But what he was teaching us, the message to black people back then was, you know, let's support our own. We got to love each other. And so they sent in King with this turn the cheek type attitude, you know, to teach us that we should go into their restaurants. I believe if we would have been taught, support your own restaurants, support your own seamstress, like we don't have to do this. We ain't got to go where we not wanted. We don't have to make people love us. We don't have to do this. My opinion is, if Malcolm X would not have been unalived, I think black people would really be loving each other more and supporting each other more. We would have our own. We would only be shopping. We would be shopping with other people but our people. We don't even do that now. We don't do that. We don't do that. But I just feel like if Malcolm X would not have been unalived, that the black race would be way on top more. We wouldn't have these gatekeepers that's trying to tell us to go against things that are in the Bible, telling us to accept what they give us. Malcolm X saw the whole setup. He saw it. He saw it. Hold on. Well, Martin Luther King realized that he had been he found out that he had been used, that he had been sent in to stop his people from advancing.
The right way. Guys, I discovered.
Now, concerning the poll taken by Newsweek magazine, I think you said that this was the leaders who said that, who went with King and against Mr. Muhammad around 90%. I just told you a little while ago, these leaders that they call leaders, this included Lena Horne, this included Dick Gregory, and this included comedians, comics, trumpet players, baseball players. Show me in the white community where a comedian is a white leader. Show me in the white community where a singer is a white leader, or a dancer or a trumpet player is a white leader. These aren't leaders. These are puppets and clowns that have been set up over the white community and over the black community by the white community and have been made celebrities and usually say exactly what they know that the white man wants to hear. And it is an honor, actually, that they endorsed.
He was speaking the truth back then because, you know, we got our political puppets right now. We got the Diddy's, we got the LeBron James, we got the Jay-Z's, we got the Beyonce's. You know, we've got the gatekeepers, Roland Doughboy Martin, D.L. Hughley, Ricky Smiley. I don't like men that wear dresses. Tyler Perry, you got Oprah. Oprah not once said a word about Harvey Weinstein, but she's got a whole lot to say, you know, about Kobe. They got a lot to say about Kelly. But you never once talked about Harvey Weinstein.
Dr. Martin Luther King and were against the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. That's actually an honor. Now, when you say that they also, in the same Newsweek poll magazine, I think the pollster said that he went into the Negro community and asked about the Muslims. And many Negroes whom he asked said, well, I never heard of the Muslims. Who are they? You know,
this is the rank and file we're talking about.
Oh, yeah. Now, when they got down to the rank and file, this was the answers that they got. This is the equivalent to the situation in Kenya during the Mau Mau uprising, when many frightened whites in Kenya, Africa, would go among the Africans and ask them, what about the Mau Mau? And the African would say, I never heard of them. And the same white man who would ask the African this question and very naively believe what the African said, when he went to bed that night, he would lose his head. And usually the one who took his head was the same African who told him that afternoon he had never heard of the Mau Mau.
Except in the Newsweek poll, they used Negro interviewers.
You'll find that oftentimes Negroes are as much on guard around Negro interviewers, who usually represent the bourgeois element of Negroes, as they are on guard around whites. Usually Negroes know that when this bourgeois Negro walks through the door, he is not doing something that he's initiated himself, but he's involved in something in which the white man is the absolute author of and has sent him to the Negro community for some information. And when they give that Negro some information, usually they give him the information that they want him to take back to the white man, because that's who he's going to take it back to.
4 more minutes. Our time is just about up, Minister Malcolm, and perhaps you could summarize and conclude by giving us, in your opinion, or in the opinion of Mr. Elijah Muhammad, what would be the ideal solution to the racial problem in the United States today?
Well, on Thursday, October the 3rd, the New York Tribune, in an editorial, pointed out in Boston, in an article called The Civil Rights Iceberg, they pointed out how Kennedy had realized that beneath the water, the civil rights whole problem was political suicide. Because in his own hometown, the head of the Board of Education, a woman named Mrs. Hicks, was running against the NAACP philosophy, and she swept aside all other opposition. The whole white community supported her in opposition to the NAACP's desire for integrated schools, integrated housing, and otherwise. So I say that to say this, that even the Jewish community, which is supposed to be pro-liberal, went against the NAACP. Whites are against integration in practice, but they're for it in principle. So the only solution is separation. And the Honorable Elijah Muhammad says that this can be brought about simply by letting our people be exposed to the truth about ourselves, about the white man, about our history and our condition in this country. And once we are exposed to the complete truth about things as they actually exist in this country, the masses of black people will choose complete separation from this entire system, political system, economic system, social system, and whatever other aspect or description or adjective you want to attach to it. Let us go back home to our own people, live among our own kind, and solve our own problems ourselves. And if the white man doesn't want us to go back to our own people and live in our own country, then since we can't get along together in peace on this country with white people, let us separate part of this continent, migrate to that separate territory, let the government give us everything we need to establish our own independent economic system and society, and thereby we'll be able to solve our own problems ourselves and prove that we are human beings and a part of the human family and can do for ourselves what other humans have done for themselves. And then we'll be able to stop blaming the white man for what he has done and stop begging the white man to solve our problems. We'll be able to solve our problems ourselves.
Well, all right. That was just great to me. That was just great. As you can see, we had Malcolm X telling us back then, we had Malcolm X telling us back then how celebrities was used as political puppets. So the only thing I can say is, I'm tired. I've seen all of this. I'm looking at history repeating itself. You still can't tell my people nothing. Can't tell us nothing. You know, y'all still want to be on this Democratic plantation. Y'all still love the people that passed laws, talked about us like dogs, you know. But you hate other people. But you don't hate the people that locked up your people, passed laws, called us names, called our men, black men, super predators. Y'all don't hate them people. You know, I don't get it with my people. I don't get it. Some of y'all, you know, y'all are right. Y'all are right. You know, I don't get it with y'all. Y'all will sit there and love the people that's been set up. And okay, all right, Joshua, I got it. Y'all sit up here and y'all know these people is dirty. Dirty. You know they ain't no good, but y'all still support them. The black community, we don't hold nobody accountable in nothing. We don't hold them accountable in our communities. We don't hold the so-called leaders accountable. And then you want to get mad at me when I talk about these dirty, no good black folks around here? Yeah, I'm going to talk about them. If you signed up to be a politician, you should not be stealing from your people. If you signed up to be somebody in the church, you should be preaching the word. You know, and if you say you a person of the cloth, do you know what's in the Bible? You don't even speak out against what's in the Bible, but you'll speak out against it with your own family. You'll talk about them like dogs, but you won't get up in front of a church and say God made Adam and Eve. I can't with y'all. I can't. I can't. Y'all sat up there, you know, and then people can show you the truth, show you the evidence, and you still don't want to believe it. You can't tell my people nothing. Them people programmed us so good. Well, they programmed y'all good, because I've been seeing it. You know, they had us thinking, they had people thinking that Elijah Muhammad, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, they had y'all thinking that these people had something to do with the unaliving of Malcolm X, which is not true. They had y'all thinking that Jesse Jackson, John Lewis, had something to do with the unaliving of Martin Luther King. They had nothing to do with it. Their whole mission was to always keep us divided. Because long as they kept us divided, putting they don't want to come up with the word conspiracy theories. But when they wanted to make something be believable, they did not call it a conspiracy theory. They wanted us to believe that it was the truth. And that's what we did. We thought the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, and we thought the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan had something to do. Why I didn't? Because I knew. I thank God for my auntie. May she rest in peace, Doris Carter. She was about that life. Baby, we went to Operation Push before it was Push. It was Operation Breadbasket. We have been programmed to not like our own people. But now when I try to tell my people the truth, show them the facts, y'all don't want to believe it. Y'all don't want to believe the Democratic Party lied to us over and over again. Can't tell some of y'all nothing. Y'all still believe in these people. Who loves people that have their families locked up, that's still in prison from the 90s? Who does this? Who does this? Some of y'all not even speaking to your family, because these lying heathens done told y'all you don't have to speak to your family over somebody's opinion and who they voted for. Father, forgive them, for they do not know any better. And this is how I got to celebrate Black History Month, knowing that families, when I tell you this stuff is deep, how Malcolm X told us that these celebrities were political puppets. You had all of those ladies on The View telling you it was okay not to speak to your family over an election, over somebody. You know, you don't have to like everything about a candidate. You don't. Everybody don't like everything about me. Do I care? No. What I cared about with Trump is Trump wanted the immigrants out here. We got enough. If they send all of them illegals back, and another thing, I want to know why y'all think it's necessary to be defending these people. You know why they've been over here for 10 years? Do you know why a lot of them don't have their paperwork? Because they were criminals. They were criminals over there in Mexico. And you guys are siding with these people? They won't even let you come live with them. But you want to sit up here and Talk about, I'm going to let them know if ICE come and all of this. They ain't going to let your child go stay with them if they on the run for the police. Are they going to hide your child when the police after them? No. I don't get this with my people. Then we worrying about the farmers. Now, don't get me wrong, but that's not our fight. That's the land that they stole from us. You know? I just can't, I don't get this. We love the people that hate us. We will go back, we will argue with people, and these people won't even allow you in their house. It ain't no store in Joliet I can go to right now. If I went down there to that community, if I walked in and asked them people, tell them I'm short on money and need groceries, I wonder would they give me some groceries? Probably not. Because they look out for their people. Know what they'll be saying? Why can't she go to her people in her community and get help? Yeah. Okay, Amber, I got you. I'm doing it. Let me see how I can do this. Okay, wait a minute. Hold on. I'm gonna have to figure out, because remember, okay, I'm gonna have to figure this out, because remember when we were having problems with that one no good lady that was you know, and I'm always call people out. You come for me and attack me and do something to me, I forgive you, but I don't forget, and I will talk about you for the rest of my life. Don't come for me. So you remember when that dirty woman, the one that said that I liked white people over black people because I was allowing you to come up, because I love, over here, we don't discriminate. I'm just for my people, but I love all people of all races, color, creed. I've had people of all races to help me. I went to school with whites and Mexicans that I'm still friends with now. So we hate our own. We hate our own. Some of y'all I can't even love because you don't even want to see the truth. I need to know why all of these mayors are stealing from their own people. Y'all don't call them out, but you get mad at me when I talk about these people, talking about why are blacks talking about blacks. And you got a woman, Tiffany Henyard, that has stolen from the people of Dalton, Illinois. You got Fannie Willis down there in Atlanta, Georgia, sleeping, allegedly, with the dope boys, was with him, and then all of a sudden flipped on them. You know, you can't make this stuff up, you know. Then they mad at Eric Adams. Eric Adams, like, wait a minute. You know, these people know he was in business with these people, with them Turkish people. This stuff been going on. You give me a license, I help you with this. So because Eric Adams got sick of all of the immigrants that was coming over and decided to voice his opinion, they said, F you, Eric Adams. He's like, we can't take it anymore. We've got too many people here. You got that stupid black mayor of Chicago, Brandon Johnson. He don't even care about the people of Chicago. He's concerned about the immigrants. because it brings money to him. They're thieves. They're lovers of money. They don't care. They don't care. They don't really care. They don't really care about us. And it ain't even a point of a color thing. They all steal. But we've had to work too hard. We work too hard. Some people work so hard their entire life to do the right thing, to be an honest person that wouldn't steal a dime from nobody, especially they people. See, they don't like them type of people. We like the crooks and everything. Okay? That's how we've been programmed. But I don't like people. I don't like anybody that's stealing from their people. And the property taxes are going to go up. Our people are the people that are going to suffer. Yeah, those people steal too. People of all races, color, creed, political, and religious backgrounds. You got pastors stealing. You got everybody stealing, scheming, scamming. But it just hurts when it's my people, because we have to work so hard for people to trust us, believe in us, and then we just turn around. We're not supposed to sit at their table. I'm so glad I never had dreams of Hollywood where I had to bend over and do things. I'm so glad. I am so glad. I thank God I got my higher power first. And I love him. I love him. I love him more than y'all. Because he first loved me. And so, I keep asking, why am I still here? I'll be 63. So that's why I still stay on YouTube. I still keep speaking what I consider my truth to my people. I'm bringing facts and stats, I'm giving my opinion, what I've seen in this world. Well, so you do have some people out here that's doing the right thing, and they'll always get passed up. And why is that? Because we like the crooks, the thieves, and all of this. We like all of this. There could be peace on earth. Y'all don't want peace on earth. Y'all don't want peace on earth. Y'all like the confusion. A lot of y'all started the confusion, even here on YouTube. Some of y'all don't know what peace is because, it's a constant battle every day. What is peace? Well, and what's this? Joan of Altus, thanks for coming in. If you don't like what I'm saying, you can politely leave. You can go start your own YouTube channel and speak how you want to speak. I remember in the 70s coming up where everybody looked out for everybody. I can remember, grandma whooping you, the neighbors whooping you. I can remember that. See, I can remember moving from Chicago to Joliet, being in culture shock. Because in Chicago, we lived on the south side. But I was used to seeing Black people working at banks, Black people being in power, politicians. We come out here to Joliet, and I didn't see anything like that. I went all over. We used to get a Super Sunday transfer. I went to Chinatown, Greektown. We went all over. I learned all kind of cultures. Did I ever get ran out of those neighborhoods? The only neighborhoods we got ran out of is where the Dailies come from. And if anybody know Richard Mayor Daley, you could not go into his area of town. Okay? And that was called Bridgeport. The Daley, Richard Daley, you could not go into Bridgeport area. And so for Black History Month, I honored Malcolm X. I feel as though if Malcolm X would have not been unalived, I really believe that we would be loving our people more. I believe that we would be supporting each other more, encouraging each other more. And so, we built this country along with the Indians. So, y'all can do your own research and find out hold on, my phone will always ring. So, you know, so you can go back and look at Malcolm X's speeches when he talk about wait a minute. Hold on. I'm gonna leave y'all with this show right here. This is the message I'm gonna leave with everybody. Wait a minute.
Do what he said. You have to read. Back during slavery, when black people like me talked to the slaves, they didn't kill him. They'd send some old house Negro along behind him to undo what he said. You have to read the history of slavery to understand this. There were two kinds of Negroes. There was that old house Negro and the field Negro. And the house Negro always looked out for his master. When the field Negroes got too much out of line, he held them back in check. He put them back on the plantation. The house Negro could afford to do that because he lived better than the field Negro. He ate better, he dressed better, and he lived in a better house. He lived right up next to his master in the attic or the basement. He ate the same food his master ate and wore his same clothes. And he could talk just like his master, good diction. And he loved his master more than his master loved himself. That's why he didn't want his master hurt. If the master got sick, he'd say, "What's the matter, boss? We sick?" When the master's house caught a fire, he'd try and put the fire out. He didn't want his master's house burned. He never wanted his master's property threatened. And he was more defensive of it than the master was. That was the house Negro. But then you had some field Negroes who lived in huts, had nothing to lose. They wore the worst kind of clothes. They ate the worst food, and they caught hell. They felt the sting of the lash. They hated their master. Oh, yes, they did. If the master got sick, they prayed that the master died.
If the master's house caught a fire, they prayed for a strong wind to come along. This was the difference between the two. And today you still have house Negroes and field Negroes. I'm a field Negro. In order for you and me to devise some kind of method or strategy to offset some of the events or a repetition of the events that have taken place here in Los Angeles recently, we have to go to the root. We have to go to the cause. Dealing with the condition itself is not enough. And it is because of our effort toward getting straight to the root that people oftentimes think we're dealing in hate.
I'll go half with you on that stuff.
We are oppressed. We are exploited. We are downtrodden. We are denied not only civil rights, but even human rights. So the only way we're going to get some of this oppression and exploitation away from us or aside from us is come together against the common enemy. Who taught you to hate the texture of your hair? Who taught you to hate the color of your skin to such extent that you bleach to get like the white man? Who taught you to hate the shape of your nose and the shape of your lips? Who taught you to hate yourself from the top of your head to the soles of your feet? Who taught you to hate your own kind? Who taught you to hate the race that you belong to? So much so that you don't want to be around each other. No, before you come asking Mr. Muhammad, does he teach hate? You should ask yourself, who taught you to hate being what God gave you? And I, for one, as a Muslim, believe that the white man is intelligent enough. If he were made to realize how black people really feel and how fed up we are without that old compromise and sweet talk. Stop sweet talking it. Tell him how you feel. Tell him what kind of hell you've been catching, and let him know that if he's not ready to clean his house up, if he's not ready to clean his house up, he shouldn't have a house. It should catch on fire and burn down.
10 years, the struggle in America has been confined to what has been projected to the public as a civil rights struggle. And in that context, it has remained a domestic problem. It has remained within the jurisdiction of the United States. And as such, it has been impossible for the Afro-Americans or American Negroes to try and enlist the support of other dark-skinned people who are being oppressed the world over in that struggle. And the difference now in the direction that the struggle is taking from the direction that the struggle has been going in the past, there are many of our people who are thinking more deeply and more broadly and are beginning to see the importance of lifting it out of the national context or out of the domestic context or beyond the jurisdiction of the United States government. And the only way this can be done is by internationalizing the problem and putting it at a level where it can be taken into the United Nations. And then all of the other independent nations on this earth can involve themselves in our struggle and support us. And the only way by which this can be done, instead of it being called civil rights in the future, we're going to have to label it a human rights struggle or the struggle for human rights. And as such, we can then take it into the United Nations through the avenues that have been set up by the United Nations Commission on Human Rights. We can take our problem before the United Nations in the same manner that the problem of South Africa, Angola, Mozambique, Hungary, the Arab refugee problem, it becomes a world problem. And as a world problem, then the Afro-American or the so-called Negroes have more of a chance of getting some real meaningful results because it's not left up to the one who's responsible for it anymore, but it's put at a level where the whole world can see that our plight is wrong, and they can bring the moral support of the entire world on our side against this force that has stood in our path in the past. It also makes a difference in the leadership. Those who have been posing as leaders of our people in America in the past, they can pose on this local stage where Uncle Sam is the master of the show and can prop them up and make them look good or make them look better than they actually are by giving them token gains and building them up an image. But when they step onto the international stage or the world stage, then Uncle Sam can't prop them up anymore. And their ability or lack of ability becomes exposed. And if they can lead us forward, they remain leaders. But if they can't, then they have to step aside, and more qualified and bona fide leaders step up from the masses of our people, and then we get faster.
Send me a figure and feed. No, me and a rat, but me I go there for the cheese. So that the
Okay, so there we have it. You know, we're gonna find out a lot of things are being revealed, and I don't know what y'all people gonna be able to do when, you know, you can see it. You can see it with this last election. We saw the way that people was trying to tell us to hate a man, which was the now President-elect Barack Obama. As I told people, I didn't have a dog in this fight with this election. These people don't know me. I'm out of their league. These people, you know, they can't even relate to us. Okay? And so they don't really care about us. But the hate and the names that I saw them call this man, and even now, they're saying the world's getting ready to come to an end. We got people saying we going back to Jim Crow. And I'm like, I ain't going to do it. I ain't going to do it. So this party that my people have been loving so much was still teaching hate to their people. They were still dividing the families, you know, because they were telling you that it was okay for you not to have your family over for Thanksgiving dinner if you even said you liked Trump or voted for him, or if you even said, well, I like his immigration status. They told people to not like their family members. Okay? Another tactic to keep us divided. And now they want to tell you where to shop at now, where to go. But they wasn't on these companies. They wasn't going in saying, let me see your affirmative action reports. Let me see your DEI reports. Let me see, have you promoted these people? Have you sent them for additional training? Have you offered them a job of being a manager? And, you know, if you told them they take some classes and pay for them to go back to school. No, you were only concerned that they hired them, that they met the quota. And so people that was bought in under those conditions, they really suffered because people really thought these folks was dumb and stupid, and they were just affirmative action hires to reach a quota. They didn't know that some of these people, they are college graduates and they are smart. So for this Black History Month, you know, They say it's the shortest day, the shortest month, and this is what we got. So for the rest of this month, think about people who have inspired you, not Hollywood clowns. Oh, hold on, y'all. Not Hollywood clowns and puppets for the government. Okay? Mm. Oh. Mm. Oh. Hold on. Because all of these people is their puppets for the political parties. Okay? You see, Malcolm X told us this in the 50s and 60s. The politicians are puppets. And so we see that now as we look at what's happening to the hip hop industry, the NFL industry. You know, we're looking at these people, we're looking at them is we're looking at these people. Some of these people, they made you think they were heroes. Heroes. And these people was dirty dogs. Dirty dogs. Y'all hear my cat? No. Okay. Wait a minute. And so, for Black History Month, think about, you know, what somebody has done to you. My heroes are my parents, my aunts, my uncles. My heroes are people that have overcome addictions. And so those are my people. Those are my heroes. My heroes are not any of these actors and actresses. Well, I did watching Julia, Diane Carroll being a nurse did inspire me to want to be a nurse. And so, I don't know what else to tell people, but, you know, all of the unity, I don't know what the cat is talking about. Yeah. No, Yawaba is my friend. And so, and this probably isn't the real Amber Angel's truth. Yeah. Yeah. It's probably not. He's probably, you know, I got to stop feeding my cat so much. Yeah. Oh, okay. And so I see, you know, the devil is still busy trying to come in my shows. I see a dirty person is still trying to be important. You know, I don't really know what to say about you other than, you know, you just dirty. You're dirty. You are a dirty woman. No, not you, Amber. No, not you, Amber. I'm talking about that other lady. That lady that was trying to separate us. Yeah. Hold on. So, yeah, it's the other lady. Joshua knows. Them no energy. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Yawaba, I met him out of K. Judah show. Yeah. Yeah, I met him out of K. Judah. But she pops in another person's show. And you know, like I tell people, once I'm done with you, you no longer exist. You don't exist in my world. Yeah. Yeah. And so, you know, people got to be aware that here on YouTube, that you have people that are low down and dirty in real life. They never had friends. You know, some people's mission is to destroy your YouTube channels. They'll lie and claim like they had channels, like they gonna help you grow your channel, and all of this. They're low lives to me. They're low lives. So they get people, you know, how the pimps and pastors and the low down dirty folks do. You know, they play both ends. They get people to like them and think that they the world's greatest thing, and then they destroy a whole complete group. A whole group. Because they're miserable, unhappy, and a sorry sack of shit is what they is. What they is. And so even people, when somebody has been along for the ride, and you know what a person done did, and you still fool with these people, I got to look at you side-eyed too. Because let me tell you something. If I know somebody ain't no good and they dirty and gonna meet you trouble, I'ma tell it. I'm sorry, I'ma tell it. That's why I tell people now. I tell the people that let folks come on their shows and let people get on panels and talk about me, because I supported my family friend, the word. I mean, R. Kelly. And that was on the Words platform. He let a woman get up there and talk about me. I had another woman took screenshots. I tell people what was done to me. Now, come check me. Come check me. A lot of these people act like they playing, like they so smart and intelligent. Ask them to show you some family pictures or something. I share my life on social media. I ain't had nothing. Yeah. I ain't got to have. I ain't got to have. That's why I post everything I do. Now, some of y'all can't do that because you live in a lie. You a lie. Some of y'all so miserable and unhappy that this is what you have resorted to. You want to destroy people on social media, people that you don't even know, ain't never met. And I was a fool. Oh, shit. my phone went dead. I had to run and put it on the charger. See, I ain't ashamed to show me. I'll show y'all when my hair nappy. I don't have to clean. I don't have to do my hair. I'm thankful to be living. I'm thankful when I make it to 63 this year, because, you know, the good Lord ain't done with me yet. See, I show y'all pictures. You know, I'm a 2-time cancer survivor. So I'm thankful. Hold on. Who I got to add up here? Hold on. I got some guests that want to. Yeah, see, I don't know what's going on. Hey. Okay, yeah, exposing the truth. Yeah. So, yeah, being real on the internet. Thinking these folks was my friends, helping them do giveaways to sell they sorry products and stuff. Man, you'll never get that from me again. Yeah. You'll never get that. And them people knew, you know. So, yeah. The fakest thing you can do is be real over the internet. Don't let that go over your head. Yeah. And so I don't hide who I am. I have good days. I have bad days. I'm a 2-time cancer survivor. I'm thankful to still be living. And every morning when I get up, I thank the good Lord for letting me wake up. And I always ask him, like, what shows, you know, what should I do? And I do. Most of these shows I do, they come to my mind in the morning or something. Because then I'll ask, well, what do you want me to talk about? What do you want me to talk about? And like I said, all of you content creators, I'm going to give y'all some motivation. I want y'all to know that you are the most amazing and wonderful people on this planet. Especially y'all that get up and get yourself together and prepare your stuff to do a great show. You know, I commend you because you have decided to come on social media where you're going to have people that's going to be criticizing you, talking about you, talking about the way you talk, talking about who you have on your panels, you know, and why worry about somebody else's panels when YouTube is free and you can go get your own channel? And so, oh no, I'm great. And I have finally, my hair is sticking back up, so I'm just deciding what I'm ready to do with my hair. So I'm going to start wearing a short natural. I don't know what I'm going to do, but I'm going to figure out something. But you are the most amazing people because you decided to get on social media, and some of you are sharing your talents, your journeys in life, and I love it. And I ain't going nowhere, neither should you. Don't let nobody pimp you off these YouTube streets because they dirty. Okay? Don't let nobody pimp you off these YouTube streets because they not right within themselves. They are so miserable and unhappy. See, just as many of us, because I'm not claiming I'm flawed. but I know who makes it possible for me every day. But you got to remember, just as many good people that believe in the Lord, okay, also worship the devil. You got to remember that. And so they allow the devil to use them because they worshiping him, and they're on a mission for them. So always keep that in mind. You know, just keep that in mind. But I want to thank y'all. I bring it every day. You know, she crochets. Oh, which reminded me, I forgot to stop by this lady. Oh boy. Okay. She crocheted me something. But I'm thankful. I don't want nobody to get this twisted. I'm thankful. And I just want to keep bringing y'all history. I still want to learn about other cultures. I still want to have an Asian person on my show. You know, I had Amber, I've had Jose. You know, I want to meet an Asian person. I want them to really tell me how they feel about me. How they feel. You know, I want to learn. Because I can remember years ago, the Joy Luck Club. Like I say, over here with the April Showers Network, we respect people of all races, color, creed, religious, and political backgrounds. You know, and the enemy does not like that. And so nobody tells me who to talk to. Nobody tells me who to bring on my show. Because I don't know. I might need a blood transfusion for somebody, and I ain't going to care if they orange. Okay? Don't get this life twisted. When you might need a blood transfusion to save your life. Yeah. Yeah. And so, Joshua, I got that, and I haven't had a chance to do anything. Okay. So, just remember, you know, I respect everybody. I respect all religions. I respect everybody. But I do know that I am a black and proud woman. And I don't hate anybody due to their race, color, creed, or religious or political background. You know, I just talk more about my people, you know, or bring the facts and the stats. Like, I'm not even getting ready to argue with people. I'm just going to show the stats. And, you know, we're going to find out whenever he come. I don't know. When I look at him, I might see everybody in him. I'm going to see all races, color, creed. Because he is. And y'all need to remember that. He is a God. No. You're going to have to remember that God is a God of many nations, and God is not the author of confusion. He's not the author of confusion. Yeah. And so, I love y'all. I hope learning something about Malcolm X, touched on some things. As you can see, Malcolm X told us back in the 60s, the politicians, comedians, and all of these people, like they were puppets. They were puppets. So, and we're finding out that we were programmed a lot. So y'all gonna have to remember that as well. And to those that want to stay blind, ain't nothing I can do for you. But I love you all with everything in me. I don't hate anybody. I might not fool with you, but I don't hate nobody. I forgive, but I don't forget. So with that being said, I did 2 shows this morning. So I'm getting ready to go around to other people's shows like I've been doing for these years on YouTube, still sharing their shows, still knowing what's going on. I support everybody I'm subscribed to, everybody that comes in my notifications. I still go around and support these people. I still do that. So peace, everybody. Have a great day.